The objective of the Monthly Indicators of Economic Growth, or MIEG, is to track the evolution of real GDP on a monthly basis. The specific components and methods of compilation will depend on data availability, but developing consistent sources and methods will help ensure consistent results. It may be necessary to compile some components based on indirect information or estimation methods. To ensure timeliness, it may be necessary to fill data gaps with imputations or estimates until more complete source data can be incorporated in the next scheduled revision of the indicator. The coverage of the MIEG is usually based on either the GDP compiled by the production approach, which covers the major industrial activities of the economy, or the expenditure approach, which covers the major components of final consumption expenditure, gross capital formation, exports and imports. The MIEG will usually include a main indicator that is conceptually similar to GDP in volume terms, and other series that represent components or groups of components within the overall aggregates. When possible, the indicator should be seasonally adjusted. The difference between quarterly and monthly indicators in terms of the additional information provided by the higher frequency is illustrated by this chart that shows the annual, quarterly, and monthly measures of GDP that were published by the Office for National Statistics of the United Kingdom. We see that the monthly data allow much more precise timing of the pandemic-related downturn in 2020, which occurred primarily in March and April. The monthly data show that by June, the economy had turned up, while the quarterly data don't show the upturn until the third quarter. The MIEG can be used to provide early identification of business cycle turning points. This will provide information to policymakers who need to assess the state of the economy and implement macroeconomic policies. It may also be used to provide forecasts, for example, of quarterly or annual GDP, of tax revenue, and other important economic variables. It can be used to investigate issues around seasonality and seasonal adjustment, benchmarking, consistency of monthly indicators with Q&A, and sources of revisions.